Good morning, Your Majesties. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. And happy day 17 of Hallowed Princess. Okay, so this story is called The Mask. Okay, and it goes... It was a cool October day in the town of Misty Falls. The trees had begun to take on their fairy colors, signifying that autumn had finally come. This meant that Halloween was on the way, and the students of Misty Falls High Cloud could scarcely concentrate on their work. Come on, Imogen begged Natalie. We have to get costumes for Mason's party. It's in a couple days. He protested Imogen. Is that the word? The second of the best friends pair whenever I suggested it. You were too busy. Natalie tossed her long black hair over her shoulder and grinned. Well, I'm not busy now, she said, laughing. Let's go to the costume shop on Main Street. Imogen rolled her eyes and agreed, sending the two of them off to Main Street. Welcome to Harry's costume shop, announced a sales associate when they finally arrived. We have the largest selection of costumes in the tri-state area. The girls gave a quick grin and ran off to their section marked juniors. I want to be something scary this year, commented Imogen, remembering back to her airy fairy and princess costumes from previous years. Natalie groaned and shook her head. The high school party, though, she exclaimed, you should wear something like this. She quickly searched the rack and found the Cinderella costume that included an extremely short blue dress. No way, Imogen giggled, pushing Natalie's hand away. I am done with princesses. Natalie replaced the costume on the rack and began searching for something else. Well, we'll find something non-princess for you then, she murmured, fully concentrating on finding the two perfect costumes. Imogen sighed and walked off, determined to find something really scary. She passed several costumes that could pass at a scary high school party. There was a vampire, a bloody murder, a sea monster, but all of them featured something short or tight. Imogen groaned exasperation, going to see if she could find something in the guys section. But because of the close proximity to Halloween, though, everything good was taken. The majority of the remaining costumes were either funny, lame, or scary. She almost went back to Natalie to surrender herself to whatever costume she has found. As she spun around, she caught a glimpse of a door in the back of the shop. Assuming it was a dressing room, she went in, wanting to see if there were any scary costumes that were left behind. Well, she got the second part right. Imogen looked around and found herself in a cold, dimly lit room. Her face glowed with happiness when she discovered what it contained. All along were the scariest masks she had ever seen. There was a gorilla with blood dripping from his eyes, an old man with rats running around in his hair. Oh, geez. A goblin with drool dripping from his fangs. Looking for anything particular? Asked the voice. Imogen turned around and saw a tall man with black hair and a cane. Too frightened to speak, she merely shook her head. Just something scary, she stammered. The man sighed and limped on his cane to a wall of masks. Well, have you checked here? He muttered. This place can be dangerous. Imogen laughed and began looking at the mask again. Dangerous, she giggled. Yeah, right. Then she spotted a mask that she liked immensely. It was a person's face, but the skin had a slight green tint. The hair was messy and yellow, as were the teeth, which also had blood dripping down them. The ears were pointed and a little uneven. "Can I buy this one?" she asked, taking it off the hook. The man tapped his cane agilely and scowled at Imogen. "Fine," he growled. "Just leave, take the mask and go. I can't be blamed for whatever happens." More scared of the man than what he was saying, she slowly backed out of the room and went to rejoin with Natalie. Good gosh, okay. The two best friends were completely psyched to go to Mason's party that evening. It was nice. It was a nice enough night out, so they decided to walk. Natalie was dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. She was dressed in a short, fluffy red dress, a short cape with a basket. Imogen had on her mask and was wearing a black cloak. They arrived at Mason's house after a 10-minute walk, and they entered his home. "Hey, Natalie," said Mason, and lifted Imogen's mask to see who it was. "Oh, hey, Imogen, sweet mask," she grinned as he put the mask back down. As the night wore on, Imogen found the party to be quite boring. She had never really been interested in drinking, so she decided against getting drunk. She preferred not to dance among drunken teenagers. Her only other option was to sit on the couch and watch. This was fine, though. This was fine with her, though. She had begun to feel sick. She had started getting a headache and was dizzy. Before she knew it, she had fainted, and even when she woke up, she was not aware of her actions. Oh no. When she finally woke up from her daze, she was laying on the couch. She sat up and cleared her eyes, gazing at her surroundings, and screamed. All around her lay dead bodies covered in blood. Afraid that there might be a murderer loose in the house, she ran outside and began a mad dash toward her house. The mask began constricting her breathing, so she decided to take it off. The only problem was it was glued to her face. Oh, this reminds me of the story I read to you guys a few years ago when about like, remember when that person was trying to get the mask off, but someone at the party said that she wasn't wearing a mask. That is so scary. Okay, yeah. Okay, anyway. The only problem was it was glued to her face, or more like nailed. As she pulled at it, pain shot through her cheeks. Then she began hearing a whispering in her ears. Imogen couldn't make out what it was saying, but it pulled her into a deep sleep. When she awoke, she was laying on the street. This time she saw a group of bloody dead children in costumes surrounding her. She began running home, but immediately collapsed. Each time she woke up, more people would be dead. Trick-or-treaters, her friends, and finally her parents. She couldn't help but start sobbing. Everyone she loved was dead, and now there was probably a murderer after her too. The last time she fainted, she woke up. She was holding a knife to herself. That was the last thing she saw before everything went black. A tall man with black hair and a cane slowly limped into Imogen's house. He walked over to the girl's dead body and took off her mask. "I did warn her." Oh, Lordy. That is so creepy. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave that there. That is going to be it for today's video. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Princess Peyton. Hit the red button to become your majesty and hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I love you guys so much. You guys are the best human beings ever made. And you're the king of my heart. And the song lyrics of Taylor Swift. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Okay, love you. Bye. Mwah.